And they're making their way to the front, want to clear out this layer as well, make sure they have the claim. Vino and Queasy looking to chop height. We know they did it every single time, and it's always around this similar point, chopping things out. And they're going to start to katana towards the front. Jalen and Twy, they are now the ones being chopped out. And Vino and Queasy, again, just wait to time it perfectly before they go up.
Second protective layer, all they want to do right now is just wait. Let everyone else just waste match. Let everyone else just go down to the pressure. Reason might be the next one here, as he's forced into the depths of the ocean to just try to stay alive. Not much else to see from him, though. Prototype falling on the feet as well. Thomas HD getting Zangy, so that team still very much active on low. Reason might be their next target. Is Tayson on the left box and more fear on the right. Up top on height. Queasy Vino also waiting and absolutely grab it. Perfectly timed. Jalen forced to move away. Twee as well. To start off the day 120 points ahead and win the game as well would be huge for this team.
It would just be a continuation of the dominance they showed us yesterday. 4 out of 6 wins. Can they make it 5 out of 7? Reason, he's just trying to stay alive for a bit longer, right? The more placement points he can get, the better. But he cannot afford to take a lick of damage. If anybody sets their eyes on him, it would be an easy pickup. And that's it right there, tasting a mustache. They're not going to be looking towards the skies, but here on this layer, they're going to look to see if anybody's lurking in the back. They need a refresh and desperately.
They'll just pick apart anyone who's down below. Meanwhile, Map and iDrop still moving through. I found a few, 5 total, as a team. On the left side, just riding that zone line. Kiro, they've identified one solo, but choose to elevate a little bit. Meanwhile, Thomas HD looking down for top 4 eliminations. The roadblock with Vortex and Japco in the way. They elect to go a little bit towards the right, but then delay just a little bit to confuse enemies to their exact whereabouts, and now wrapped around their opponents and are about to have a drop on the backside of Gripey.
They're just gonna have to jump in. They have no materials left. They want to take this fight. They don't want to have to drop down so low just early. And they're just trying to force their way into the boxes. If they had the pulse rifles, it'd be a bit easier, but still making it happen in that box. Thomas picks up the map. Slick sees the one down, and he picks up another. Malabuka's fallen though in that exchange, and so now it's up to Thomas to clutch up.
Every angle, every degree, his shot, his awareness just magnetic. If there's a person's head on his screen, it's gonna go down in mere moments. Thomas HD will find some reprieve to see what he wants to do next. Meanwhile, Vino, he's just going fishing. Up, down, left, right, doesn't matter where he is. He's finding Elans as much as he can.
They picked off Jalen and Twy from height, but Vino finally confirmed the elim onto Twy. Mustache now jumping in and around, just barely getting onto low ground. Joining up with Tayson. They see a player on the wall. Now he's above. Can they cut him out? Tayson looking to deal damage, dropping down. Needs to be careful of the team above him. You know who it is. Queasy and Vino, they're ready to strike.
Mosh pit in the end game, and now there's just 2 players left down in the box. Slivers of HP. Vino tries to find that left shot, and it connects well. Another one, and call EU a monarchy, because we have 2 kings. Game after game after game. A sliver of a moment where there are no builds, and you're losing all your HP. Down for 1 second on surge damage, and you are gone as a duo. The difficulty of this lobby, of this day, of this region, just seems to be increasing every single game. And in terms of this one, for the end game here at Breakwater Bay, it's going to be even tougher for all these teams. We've been seeing mid-ground teams shoot at each other, high ground has pulse rifles, and now they finally make themselves known.
And it's not something we've seen often, right? We know how powerful the pulse rifles are, but we rarely get to see them on height. And one thing you do guarantee when you see them on height is that they absolutely melt every single player that's trying to kinetic blade through. And so now it's up to iDrop and Matt to do that.
One player, though, that's defied all odds this game, Cammy, on your screen, is below Surge again. He's been a solo for the last 3 zones, and he's holding on to his top 5 spot in this game. The longer he lives, the better chances he has to make this an absolutely glorious tournament for him and Seti. Moving forward, dodging the pulse rifle beams right underneath them, in front of their faces. He challenges shots and only gets hit once.
You see just how careful he is, looking to take shots at players as they rotate, covering his head as well. But once again, you see exactly what these guys want to do. It's Vino, Queasy looking up for height. They want to take it off iDrop, and they might just do it. not much connecting them. Idrop and Mappy need to start thinking about connecting and making sure they pressure Queasy and Vino as much as possible.
Not an inexperienced duo at all, so we'll see the back and forth happen on high ground. Meanwhile, Lucian center are trying to move through low, interrupted on the dash as a big shot from a pump stops Lucian in his tracks. Vino and Queasy up towards their second part and looking at height again. They're moving too fast. They're used to seeing both above them. So Vino says, forget the chop. I'm gonna take it myself. Almost landing and getting a perfect shot off. The timing crazy from Vino. He once again unites to Queasy. A mistake makes it just look like a beautiful rotation instead, and they keep moving on.
But this might be the first endgame in so long where we have to see them play a different way. They might not be able to go up without the mats they have left. They're gonna have to start going down. And all these teams here down below are so powerful. Cammy, even as a solo, is making himself look strong. Still alive in this one.
They drop themselves down in the top 10's world, and that's where Tayson and Mustache are hiding. That's where Cammy's looking to survive, and he gets right towards the front side of zone. Elects to actually stay elevated. This is not a position we're usually watching him in when he's alive with his duo, so as a solo will go, where it somehow go. No one can stop Vino and Queasy. They say never mind and stay on height. Cammy goes down. What a way to survive all the way to the 11th zone, the top 17. Now everyone, including the Pulse Rifles, have to bow down to the king.
Mustache and Tayson, though, they won't bow to anybody. They'll keep fighting in this mid-round. They'll keep clearing players out. It's Gripey who they're cutting through. They want to take them out. Who else is there? Will Flixie fall? He's trying to stay alive. He's trying to move backwards. If he takes the fight, it might just cost him. Tayson and Mustache don't force down.
Tayson on the sliver, and he will go down, so up to Mustache, but he makes every single shot count. While on the backside, he's got no mats, a little bit of a split from Tayson. Even when he's not, he's doing stuff for his teammates. Slip popped, and now Mustache can actually have some play time inside the storm. Mythic Pistol active, and that's who's gonna look to the beam. Queasy up top, and Vino drops again. Another chance for them to get wins, and wins. This is just crazy on EU.
Whoa, he's slowing down. He needs to be careful. Mustache, he's coming up. This might be one of the first times we've seen him have to be challenged like this, but quickly dealing with the danger. Queasy says, Vino, hold up. I got you. Slow way down beneath. He has 6 already this game, and he's looking for more. No materials left at this point. Just crawling in the back of the zone. There's opportunities there, but he gets taken out from someone even behind him. And Vino picks up Drayson. Oh my goodness, how many times, even when it doesn't seem possible, even when it shouldn't be probable, they still take height, they still look to win games. Idrop, who was initially on it, is still alive in this game, and he has a tough task on his hands.
Mythic items all the way down below. Idrop looking for one of the shots, but Vino all the way just falls down. Now 1v1 for Vino! It's easy! It's easy! It's just too good for this.
Tough task on Seti's hands. Last game we watched Cammy clutch through the end game. This time round it's Seti who has to do it. Mustache and Tayson need to find each other, and you'll see Mustache there just falling into the spots. Had to use an extra kinetic blade charge.
Tayson will be back up and slurp. They're looking so low on damage. Everyone right now struggling to find any shots to hit. Matt by himself still looking pretty healthy, but the mats, they're dwindling down. He's gonna focus on a few players below, but people already switching out of their boxes towards their next goal, their next objective. So many hills in tow, you will really be tested on materials here, especially if there's people focusing your box. 99 above for Matt, but up top, Jerky, and for Doxy, absolutely unscathed, double connected as well. It's going to be so hard for them to get chopped down. Anchor going to be one of their targets. Malabuka moving in as Boaz is one to fall. He kind of sees exactly what's going on over at height, so Alexa just keep things down low to the ground with Thomas, who should be joining him very soon.
Yeah, when they do join forces, they are such a threat. A flare in the back of the zone, just showing and exposing all these weak players that he can capitalize on. Anybody with low HP is in real danger with these guys on the lurk.
Power from Matt still in the inventory, has that slip to play with, but now on his final 100 mats. He needs to hold on to this. He needs to stay inside the top 5. He can't go down to the likes of Mustache beside him or Fireball below. Girash is there too. Pixie Gripey also looking for some, but what a nice edit and decision. A big find for Matt. This is just huge.
Matt making it look like creative right now. He's comfortable, he's in flow, he's in his rhythm. Mustache trying to find that, just bouncing back on his zone. The little bunny hop costs him. And Vanyak now, maybe, just maybe this will be a classic FNCS Vanyak clutch. We've seen them so many times, and what a time to do it. An opportunity to push their way into the Global Championship standings.
So many people losing their teammates, almost looking like just solos are alive towards the backside of this zone. Pulse Rifles still shooting at every build down below. And they actually get chopped down. Ferdoxy looks to look up top and regain that height. Everyone now just stalling with blades towards the sky. They finally fall, but Fordoxy has not kept tabs on one player who makes it so hard for him to stay up and alive. It's Vadil and Savage who are still sky high, and they hold on to their build.
This might just be their game. We've wanted to see Vadil and Savage do it in the past 9, and it hasn't quite happened. They tried to take height here, running low on materials though, and just being humbled for a second. Need to find a bit of cool, need to find a bit of calm, because there are still players in between them. It's Trulex right between them.
Vadil's not going to be able to find Mr. Savage just yet. He's only on 2 builds. Malibuca has a lot to work with, but he's actually been actively hunted down, pushed towards the ground. Thomas nowhere inside. It's up to him to just make sure he can lock these points in. A big duo inside his box. He takes almost one out, but gets absolutely overwhelmed by Ping. Kyrie going down. What a shot from Ping back to Gripey.
Ping doesn't feel pressure. He's ready with the shotgun in hand. And even if Kiri isn't here, he's gonna keep on moving. He's got materials to keep throwing, but there's players all around him. He has to be careful.
4 more duels to work through. Ping taking fire from the flares, being found out. Another player outside his box is Chulix, but he gets denied. It's Savage who finds it from the sky. Fordoxy now has an absolute powerhouse of a loadout, but nowhere to actually connect with it. Savage and Vadil locking away every player into the zone. Positioning perfect, movement perfect. In that game, Tayson and Mustache, they have a chance to just clinch onto that second to extend the lead that they have inside this top 5. Meanwhile, leaders of the region, absolute tyrants, Vino and Queasy, looking a little bit lost in the boxes. Vino there, bit of a blunder. All of the Queasy now, we're gonna have to see a different type of game from him. This is not gonna be an easy win. He can just sleep on high ground now. He has to actually get active here and land a few of these shots.
Yeah, split up on the blade rotate, and it cost them. You have to follow each other tightly, otherwise it can all go to shambles. Mixing and Blackshot in the storm now, dropping down to low, and they see Kiri. They know he's an opportunity, and they're just gonna keep forcing their way into his face.
No mats, no chance, no health. They're gone. Flixie Gripey, another contender, falling right before them, and they look so healthy for the moment. Gripey taking a little bit of damage on the backside, and he finally goes down. Flixie now is left to do things as a solo. They only got 1 elimination while staying alive together. Now just hit that top 15. This is where the real placement starts to come in. The majority of the points, and it's also Flixie to keep the dream alive.
Yeah, the problem is he doesn't really have much space to work with, just using the space he has. Now running around on builds that aren't his. Needs to be careful. Players in the backside of the zone. Connects with 1, but the wall is there to block it off. He sees the players beneath him. He doesn't know which one to hit, but he hits the flying shot. It's Pablo Wingo he takes down, and those mats mean everything for him. Blocked from getting into zone, but just here, bounce back zone as well will benefit him so much.
Almost had a perfect lane, almost had the sun in his sights, but he's still trapped down. B-ball up top, clouds looming. It's pulse rifles. Flixie from the right side is gonna be constricted, can't breathe, and he'll fall to Jay. Default and Kirby, they're gonna be playing this through too, looking for more shots as men fall down. Default's not gonna miss a single chance to do that damage. Getting crucial mats to keep his run alive. Seti and Cammy are still in this one and are just starting their reign.
Seti and Cammy, this might be their chance for redemption.
Oh
might be their chance to finally pick up the victory royale that we didn't quite see them get. They got a couple second places, and now it's their time. But no, Cammy falls. Seti has to clutch up hard.
2 different angles of pressure coming in. He's blocking off the pulse rifles from up top, but how far that can actually last is the big question. He drops down, and Carmi's gonna stop him and distracts Carmi, who's trying to move up that top 5. Shimoki Swizzy also seeing their first chance at this one. A huge endgame for him. 114 points on the day. They're moving up the standings. This top 5 is looking really close by the end of this game. Cosmo falling down. Shimoki with the blocks. I mean, he's making sense of an impossible situation, but he's not going to be able to see the light of day either. It's up to Toos, who's dropped down and making things more close and personal against Cosmo. He'll wrap up the game. And this one that they have pulse rifles, and this one where they have the power, they turn it into points. It's Toos and Putrick with a win.
This game is so stacked. Let's move in surge. They need to do damage. They can't just sit above height comfortably. Chilling till the end. Seti and Cammy, they can't be comfortable in this game at all. They get pushed out of the lobby.
It's Vadil that pushes them straight down and out towards the next game. He controls now some of the second height layers. Squeezy just gets absolutely sidewindered in that box. Gripey now, still alive. Has a lot to work with, but his metal's gone.
He's burned through a lot of the materials he got from the refresh,
No!
and that's going to be the end as well. So many of the top dogs there just falling one after the other. It's that domino effect, and maybe that's the perfect situation for Vadil and Mr. Savage, who we know need to have a big last couple games, and this is their moment, this is their time to do it.
They found a sense of calmness, the eye in the hurricane, a spot where no one else is really actively building or giving them any trouble. And then again, they pull towards the front side of zone, new territory that no one's claimed just yet. Taysom Mustache going to be slightly beside him. Default falls once again as he gets chopped out from the sky. Malabuka and Thomas also on the low ground. So a lot of these teams are just resetting by touching the earth. Artur going to go down as Vanyak is in a lot of trouble. Looking at fights from box to box. He gets 2 minutes to pop, and now it's all up to him to deal some big damage.
Yeah, he has to make something happen. You can see just blading into the zone. Just trying to claim a position on the front. Down to bare wood. And he has to be careful. There's players all around him. Those players beneath him might be an opportunity for him. Trunitz and Cheeky just running away. There's a player here on this player as well. The shot doesn't connect. He's still going to look for it, though, because he knows he has to connect with a shotgun if there's any hope of staying alive in this game.
Every inch of new land taken over, every box that's open, a solo trying to survive is taken out. If you do not move fast enough, if you're not at caliber, you are gone. And Taysom falls under the stress test as well. Malabuka not going to be able to heal this one out. Thomas HD has that slurp and toe, but does he have the time to actually pop it is the question. Pressured once again, you do not have a second to think
like
in this endgame.
Nobody has the time. It doesn't exist. It's being squeezed out from beneath their feet. And Mr. Savage and Vidil, they're trying to do another one. They need another victory out, and they're set up perfectly to do so.
We talked about them having a peak game. That's exactly what they need to have a chance at that top 5, a chance at globals, and that's exactly what they're going to be reaching for here. They're not looking so good, but I see a knoll in the grass. I see a little bit of trouble here. That's Thomas HD that's moving in. Unorthodox rotation from the backside. He's popping that mist and rolling. Chabko on low. Looking to just weed out anyone that's coming in from the other side, but Ping has been active towards these back half of games. Zara also from the outside. Vacant season hears that mist popping. He's gonna block it off, but he lands a big one onto his opponent in front of him. A big reversal though as he goes down.
And Thomas is looking for it. He's hearing players going down, and he wants a bit more of the action himself. They already have so many limbs in this game, but a couple more would go such a long way. Thomas now desperately looking. He's dropped his shotgun though.
What?
Needs to pick that back up because the fight is brewing. It's Vidil right above his box. Bacon's fallen beneath him. It's now up to Vidil to try and win this one out.
Time has run out for the rest of the lobby. Thomas looking to hold it out. Still another duo alive, not just these two. A drop in the box and possibly too much pressure to handle. Vidil with the ramp edit. It's good enough and they get a second win.
Vidil versus Thomas.
Sleeper, Vino being aggressive. That combination of wins that have gotten 6 out of the day is not going to be here. These guys can take it all the way home.
And if coming into the finals, you would have told me that iDrop would come out better of the split between him and Mr. Savage. With how the season has gone, I wouldn't have believed you. Things weren't looking too good. They were a team in the 3rd week that had to try to qualify through that stage, and now they might be on their way to global championships.
One more tap. They do have height, but they can't make a mistake. We've seen so many teams look for that chop down. This is game 12. Everyone will look for a win, and that starts on high ground. Vino will be on low, though. This is just a victory lap for him. He's looking for any chance to delay any other person's aim and possibly even have a clutch of his own here towards the very end. Landed in a tree, a little bit of aggression from other teams, but he lands off and is able to get his head back up.
Yeah, and this is just a chance for Vino to remind us of why it's so good. Idol's fallen though. It's the hands of Kuro, so it's gonna have to be a big clutch from Matt. iDrop has no chance to help his teammate. Matt's dropping down into boxes. Needs to try to find space, but look at his material child. Look at those shields. He has none. He doesn't have anything to refresh himself. Needs a refresher now.
Needs a miracle, needs a prayer. Matt, 2 hands together on the shotgun. Let's see what he can do next. Red Eye reloaded. One player just passed by and he needs that split-second shot to land straight to that. Force any damage above. He can play with patience, but this is the clutch of Matt's rear. Move forward, kinetic blade in hand. One more charge with his shields knocked out. Wood layer below him, so he can easily penetrate that base when he elects to go towards the zone. Matt looking for his target, but does not choose this box. There's box inside, but he's not going to choose to die. Matt looking lost, confused, dazed. Where can he be? What can he see? Nothing for now. Somehow still alive. The target is pushed fire, but not getting hit. One with the world around him. He takes out Vino and get that refresh.
Takes on the MVP of tournament to keep his tournament alive, to keep his hope of globals alive.
Still running through the middle of every single building, the most dangerous layer. He can fall at any moment to 5 duels below him. Just has the basics in his inventory, nothing else. Meanwhile, Thomas down below, securing that slot. But we have to see what's up with Matt. Is he the one able to make this clutch happen? Malabuka also controlling a lot of his bot side. Map will fall. Were his points enough is the question as Asa gets removed as well. Tayson following through, moving in. Him and Mustache have their back glued together.
A grudge match between Major One's first and second place teams on low ground. They're gonna wipe out anybody else that's here. But you see Thomas and Malabuka down beneath them, waiting for Tayson and Mustache to drop.
That V's up against the wall. We've seen this so many times before. Thomas is lethal at these angles. They're waiting, they're pacing. It's up against Tayson now. And Malabuka elects to stay with that zone. More pressure up as Q-Roll finally falls. Malabuka still waiting. Heavy's picking up a few in the feet. Thomas is right beside him too. They pack so much damage in this little box and they take another one out.
Heavy's falls in the back of the zone. And that won't stop Thomas. Then they keep going for more. It's Misha and Teeny. They're the ones that hold height in final game. They're the ones that have had the time of their lives. Easy as could be. Kiro trying to cause Manic, trying to cause chaos down below. And he's going to leave Flodex to do it alone. Teeny started to drop down. And Flodex has a response.
Anyone here is a difference in thousands of dollars for a lot of these teams. Flodex looking to make that money. Malabuka says, that's my bag. No chance. And he keeps moving. 3 teams now left.
This break taking them to the final game. But they are here, and you can see them, their biggest rivals just beneath them right now. Teeny and Misha trying to force a fight between two. They can't afford to stay low. They need to be able to go down or go up. They have to pick their spot.
Firepower of Pulse Rebels from the skies. The reputation, the fear emanating from down below. What will they choose? Thomas chooses the sky, and he does not land second shot. Malabuka now healing up inside the zone, leaving Jason to the last fight, but he also gets absolutely clapped down. Mustache now up against the wall, and Teeny has that missile pop, has the angle, and gets the absolute huge siphon. Mustache against Malabuka.
Former duos, former brothers, now to fend off each other. It's looking like earlier in the season, heel of Royale. But right now, Mustache doesn't have enough to outlast his former teammate. Malabuka with the splashes was just too much to handle. And another game where Malabuka and Thomas can show what they can do.
Our EU Grand Finals here, a Major 2, and you can see Queasy and Venom. But look at the rest of the leaderboard here. Mustache and Tayson in second place means that they were already qualified to go down to the next players. And you can see here, Malibu and Thomas creeping to already qualified.